सारा फायदा होता है।
Good evening to all our students, counselors, parents, and esteemed iASPIRE faculty. And today we have Dr. Tayal, who is our iASPIRE Dean, and Dr. Jitin Chadha, who is the founder and director of iASPIRE. A very, very warm welcome to the closing ceremony of the iASPIRE Summer Workshop. As I mentioned before, the iASPIRE, the whole concept of iASPIRE has been built from the iASPIRE pedagogy, which is based on applying one's learning to the real world. The feedback from the students has been amazing and encouraging. And just to give you some insight, all the sessions received an average feedback score of 4.40, and the sessions taken by our industry leaders received an average score of 4.50. So it looks like the students enjoyed the sessions just as much as we did and putting this workshop together. And that's all we could really ask for. I would now like to hand over to our Associate Director, Chirag Mehta, who will be giving you a small introduction to iASPIRE and what we are all about. And he will also elaborate on the iASPIRE pedagogy. So Chirag sir, it's over to you.
Thanks very much, Sonia. Hello, everyone. iASPIRE, as my colleague Arjo has coined a term for you guys. So it's lovely to see you all here. Give me 1 second. I'm just sharing my screen. I hope that this is now visible. Can someone let me know in the chat if my screen's visible, or just speak up maybe? Yeah. Okay. Thanks for that. Okay. It's lovely to be here for the closing ceremony, the recognition ceremony, everyone. As Sonia said, it's been a delight bringing iASPIRE to you guys. And it's been very heartening to see my wife, for example. She's been wondering what I've been up to the last couple of weekends. And when I told her that we have this summer workshop going on for school students, she was quite surprised, that school students really, they're showing up on a Sunday for this sort of thing. Why are you guys doing it on a Sunday? So hats off to you guys, iASPIRE, for investing time and effort in your career decisions, presumably, or just in building your knowledge base about these areas of economics, management, and finance from a careers perspective. It's been wonderful, the response that you have brought, and the sort of enthusiasm that you've brought to every session, even the extended sessions in the afternoon, doing sort of the ice-breaking stuff, etc. We've seen the enthusiasm last well into those sessions as well. So it's been fantastic. Anyway, this is not a thank you speech. That's for later. But for context, as Sonia mentioned, iASPIRE was really born out of two things: our school outreach, work, and our pedagogy. School outreach, because we're in regular touch with counselors around the country. It's an important sort of dialogue that we have with them, which is ongoing, and there are a lot of things that they nudge us to do as a higher education institution, and I have to say iASPIRE is certainly one of them. As Sonia had mentioned, I remember in her sort of opening piece last Saturday, last Saturday, it would have been a full-fledged summer school. A full-fledged summer school is what most counselors had suggested we offer students, because they said there wasn't one dedicated to the areas of economics, management, and finance. And a full-fledged summer school it would have been had it not been for COVID, of course. But we didn't want to sort of, having put in the brainstorming and the effort, we didn't want to, not bring anything to the party this year. And therefore, iASPIRE was born. And because we had to do a sort of more limited offering, we decided to talk about careers in economics, management, and finance. But there was another core reason why we settled on careers. Now, careers is not what we teach at iASPF, right? We teach economics, management, and finance. We don't teach careers in economics, management, and finance. However, being an integral, so we're at our heart, at our DNA, is the UK higher education system. All of our partnerships for the last 15 odd years with LSE and University of London, and of course now also with Kingston University, are partnerships with premier UK higher education institutions. And the beauty about a UK higher education is that it treats you as an adult who is making a deliberate choice to become an expert at a certain field. And therefore, the pedagogy, the education, the content, the curriculum, everything is back calculated from a real world usefulness perspective. So nothing is taught to anybody for its own sake. Everything is taught to you so you can become a problem solver out there in the real world, whether as an economist or as a manager or as a financier or whatever other field you may take up. So, and that real world, the litmus test of that real worldness or application orientedness is sort of conducted, in the context of careers. Is it going to serve? Is this economics curriculum great for a student to step out there and become a high quality economist? And similar questions are asked of the learning outcomes that are made for a management program, a business management program, an accounting finance program, and so on and so forth of every program. Because, as I said, it is assumed you have made a deliberate choice, just as all of you seem to have made with regard to iASPIRE. It is assumed that your college decision, if you're coming into the UK higher education system, it will be assumed that you have made a deliberate choice to specialize in and become an expert in a certain area. Now, of course, one understands that an 18-year-old may branch out into related areas, but it is still fairly different from the sort of US liberal arts concept where you're studying African music along with economics. Here, you're encouraged to study management and finance along with economics, perhaps not African music. Going back to the same idea that you're an adult who's made a deliberate choice. So therefore, it is incumbent upon the education to then not digress, to then focus and give you the foundation that you need in order to excel. And most people, will in higher education will bear this out, that from this perspective, from the perspective of depth and expertise, very few education systems come close to the UK education system. And really it is because of our association with LSE, UOL and now Kingston that we also think in this manner. The other things we do in school outreach, some of you may have attended our Playnomics workshops, that is all about application-oriented learning, taking your learning outside of the textbooks. And really iASPIRE was born from a similar place, because the end goal of the education is to go out there in the real world of work and solve problems with your education. So to the extent that you're presumably here so that you can back calculate your college choices or program choices more than college choices from what sort of career you want to undertake. And that is actually why we understand many school counselors around the country have asked us to do this kind of workshop, so that you have that information that you need in order to sort of inform yourselves about the fields, the disciplines, the possible careers, and therefore make informed choices as you step into sort of the business part of your education. When I say business, I mean the business end of your education, let's say. So really, I mean, the next logical step for students like yourselves who are clearly, I mean, in a cohort of hundreds of thousands around the country, you have chosen to spare, I believe for many of you, during school time. So you're in school on the weekdays and on the weekends, you're doing this for the last 2 weekends. So kudos to you. Presumably you want that edge, you want that world-class foundation. Now, this is where we see a synergy. We're on the lookout in any case for highly motivated, aspirational students from a career perspective, but even before that, from an educational perspective. iASPF, to give you some context, was set up in 2006 with a simple agenda to bring world-class education to India. Because there is still, unfortunately, a gulf between the best that Indian institutions have to offer, standalone Indian institutions or Indian programs, let's say, have to offer, versus what we have seen, that can be made available to students by collaborating with global giants like LSE and University of London. So that is where we see a strong synergy, and that is why we work, with a select set of aspirational schools and students around the country, around the year, to sort of to assess that fit, and to also, in many cases, sort of highlight that fit, create that fit with students, with counselors, with teachers, with principals. And this is the first thing I would like to talk about when we talk about world-class education, the partnership with the London School of Economics and University of London. I have tried to summarize what we do on those programs as simply a London School of Economics education and a University of London degree. I don't say anything here lightly, because I'm an alumnus of LSE myself, partly for that reason, but partly because we're all sort of implicitly sworn to the cause of higher education. So feel free to take me up on any of this. We won't have time for Q&A today, but you're on Google Classroom, as am I. So feel free to take me up on any claims that I make that you would like to contest. Here is why I say a London School of Economics education. And I've added here that it is a global top 10 education, because if you cast your eye to the bottom right of this slide, the areas we're talking about, economics, management, and finance, are all areas for which LSE is ranked among the top 10 in the world, as high as number 4 for accounting and finance. This is as per the latest QS rankings, which is clearly proving itself to be one of the more reliable ranking systems out there. So whichever program you may choose to study out of E, M, and F, or any combination thereof, you are looking at a global top 10 education. You are looking at a London School of Economics, undiluted London School of Economics education. Why do I say that? Because an iASPIRE student and an LSE student study exactly the same curriculum. They are held to the exact same assessment standards. This is done by a team of over 50 LSE faculty members. It's a subset of the same faculty pool that teaches these subjects at LSE, some extremely senior people within that pool who write the curriculum, update the curriculum, design the program, author the study materials, and set and grade. This is massive. Set as well as grade every single summative examination and assessment that an iASPIRE student ever writes. And that is why it is safe to equate it with an LSE education. Short of being in London and being taught by LSE faculty, and there are actually caveats on both those fronts, you are receiving an undiluted LSE education. And that is why it is certified in a way that it signals an LSE education to the world. I'll come to that. But as far as the being in London and being taught by LSE faculty members goes, you are, at least if you decide to study at iASPIRE, or everyone who is studying at iASPIRE currently is studying at one of LSE's top 5 teaching institutions in the world. So that is in LSE's words, to put it another way. I have a link here, but I'm not going to navigate away. I don't have enough time. But if you just Google LSE Global Teaching Institutions, click on the first link, you will see that LSE is saying that if you want to study our programs anywhere outside of London, iASPIRE is one of the top 5 places to do that at. Honestly, informally, I know from them we're actually one of their top 2 in the world, but top 5 is what I can say with evidence, and so I will stick with that. So despite the fact that the curriculum and the assessment standards being the same already tantamounts to an LSE education, you have on top of that the opportunity to study, and those that are studying with us, as I said, are studying with one of LSE's top 5 teaching institutions in the world. And we have an LSE faculty member, Dr. James Abday, who spoke to you yesterday about careers in data science. I did mention in his introduction that he's actually a visiting lecturer at iASPIRE. There is plenty of other ways in which iASPIRE students access or have access to LSE faculty members. There are webinars, there's a virtual learning environment, there are discussion forums, all of the study material is authored by them anyway. So plenty of ways to access LSE faculty members on the programs anyway. Also plenty of opportunities to go to London as and when it becomes safe, including to LSE and many other top colleges, not just in London, in fact, around the world. But I will come back to that. The other thing I want you to know about this collaboration is the fact that you will graduate with a University of London degree. And this is equivalent to an LSE degree. I've zoomed into a portion of the actual degree certificate on the left, so that you can see that it says having registered with the University of London and passed the approved examinations conducted by the London School of Economics and Political Science. The fact that LSE's name is on the degree and in the way that it is makes it equivalent to an LSE degree. So it will always signal one of the strongest signals of academic merit that exists in the world for an undergraduate program. That's why I said a global top 10 education. These are the programs. This is stuff you can look up on the website, but economics, management, and finance are the broad areas. And there are combinations available such as eco-finance, eco-management, business management, and of course, accounting finance, which enjoys several exemptions for reputed global qualifications like ACCA, but also ISCA, CIMA, etc., etc. And on the right is just some comparable programs, because these are all UK programs that we offer. So sometimes the terminology is not always familiar for Indian parents in particular. So this is just for reference. And the middle talks about eligibility. You must have math up to class 12 for eco and eco-finance, and math up to class 10 for the other 3. Mind you, this is just the eligibility criteria. two things. There is no other eligibility criteria. You don't need to have studied eco or accounting or finance. That doesn't matter. But maths certainly matters. And this is not the selection criteria. This is just eligibility in order to apply. So important to put that out there. And of course, the pedagogy that Sonia referred to, out of which a lot of iASPIRE is born. We could have had, a series of monologues by our own faculty members, but that is not the spirit of teaching and learning at iASPF. The idea is to keep it cutting edge, to keep it application oriented, which necessarily means exposing you to people outside of the institution. You had an eminent lineup of speakers, including the likes of Deep Kalra, Dr. Rajat Kathuria, Nikhil Arora, Dr. James Abde, all pioneers in one way or another. And it is no small thing for you to have learned from them, in my opinion, my humble opinion. And that is part of the DNA of teaching and learning at iASPF. There's one thing we perhaps regret as sort of the faculty team behind iASPIRE, and it's the first one, so I'm sure we'll improve on this front going forward, was that while we intended for there to be a lot of room for Q&A, the fact that they were, it was an immersive workshop with 1 hour long sessions. We will perhaps have slightly longer sessions that allow for more time for Q&A, but the spirit of inquiry and Q&A absolutely drives everything we do at iASPF, and was intended to be reflected, and hopefully did reflect in no small measure in the structure of iASPIRE. And you can basically pretty much say goodbye to rote learning if you're coming into this sort of teaching learning environment. There's lots of formative assessments, feedback, again, things that so you have submitted an assessment that is not, so a bunch of us colleagues at iASPF, we are doing this postgraduate qualification in teaching and learning in higher education. And we actually drew inspiration from the assessment methodology they use to set your assessment rubric, as well as just the assessment itself, the assignment itself. And as you'll see, when you get your assignments back or assessments back, you should have plenty of detailed feedback on there, which is again exactly the iASPF teaching learning DNA playing out. It's a close-knit community, which is also why we capped every session. Had there been more students, we would have inevitably spilled over into another batch. So this batch was capped at 30, which hopefully allowed all of you to sort of, pick the speakers' brains, the session leaders' brains every now and then, as much as time permitted. Innovations in pedagogy, a distinguished faculty group, these are things that go without saying in today's times. These are all, fundamental pillars of iASPF teaching and learning environment. Coming back to the point I was making about, opportunities to go to London, because you're undergoing an LSE education, just 1 year of it is good enough to get you into second year at LSE itself. In many cases, this is not automatic, but iASPF has the most successful transfer track record to LSE of any institution in the world, as per LSE itself. But students have gone on to many other colleges in many other parts of the world, all reputed ones, Carnegie Mellon in the US, University of Hong Kong, British Columbia in Canada, Edinburgh, Bath, Bristol, King's, etc. Many names not here. Again, details are on our website for all of these things. From a career prospects point of view, because we're talking at the end of a careers workshop, clearly you're here with an eye on your future. You can give yourself a substantial edge, at least over peers from traditional Indian programs, for a prestigious master's abroad. I say this with great insight from my own career journey. After graduating from Delhi University with an economics honors degree, which is widely considered in India to be, in popular perception, among the best out there, I was unable to get into the 1 year MSc economics program at LSE. And after a 3-year undergrad, got into the second year transfer to Cambridge, the kind of transfer that an ISDF student could get after 1 year. And that is just to show you the chalk and cheese. So the same 1 year MSc program for which I was rejected, we've had 2 iASPF students in the last 2 years get into that same program on full scholarship. This is aside from the many who've gone into this program on part scholarships or no scholarship over the years. But you have a DU graduate of the first division getting rejected on the one hand, and iASPF students getting accepted for 2 years in a row on a full scholarship on the other hand. And not just LSE, There are practically every college on that, every logo on that slide is a global top 100 institution, if not a top 50. There's Harvard, Oxford, Yale, Columbia, Chicago, NYU, King's, UCL, NUS, etc., etc. So suffice it to say that none of these colleges understand even the Delhi University transcript. And I'm only using DU as a comparison point because I've studied there. I would normally not compare with other institutions, but it's my alma mater, so I take some liberties there. But all of these institutions, compared with a piece of paper, a transcript or a degree from even Delhi University, they would understand a University of London degree and an LSE transcript infinitely better, and therefore have much more confidence in the quality of a candidate. That is why the claim about giving you a substantial edge. Again, because a lot of this was careers focused in the last 2 weeks or last week, 10 days, these are the kind of companies iASPIRE students have gone on to work for, include the likes of McKinsey, Bain, PwC, KPMG, Ernst & Young, Citibank, RSA, Willis Towers Watson, etc., etc. The names are there for you to see. Detailed list on our website. Again, what is very heartening for us is that recruiters say wonderful things about our students. And again, I'm happy to share this deck via Classroom. I won't wait long enough for you to be able to read both testimonials perhaps, but it's very encouraging that our recruiters, in fact, I've sat across the table from one of these recruiters and they've said to me, to my face, that our undergrad students are adding more value than reputed graduates or graduates of India's top MA economics programs even. And of course, you could go on to masters at an institution in India. There is a dedicated careers team. Sonia, who's been moderator for most of your sessions, is a member of the careers team. A large part of the speaker lineup was due to her efforts. So that is another thing that the careers team does, networks deeply with industry professionals and upskills students. She ran a session, I know, on upskilling for you yesterday, which seems to have been very well received. Summer internships at, again, very eminent organizations. One thing we haven't spoken about at all, I think, in any session is the fact that there are 1-year placements in London and New York also available for students with Fortune 500 firms. Every year, 2 students go to LSE summer school on scholarship. Now we're in the unique opportunities part of the slide. Many LSE and University of London awards and prizes, the graduation ceremony in London, as I may have mentioned. So you're a full-fledged student of University of London when you study at iASPIRE. You're invited to be graduated in London, which is an utterly overwhelming ceremony and affair. So all of these are unique features of this wonderful and world-class education that we have the privilege of being able to offer in India, to have the permission and the partnership with LSE and University of London. And as a natural extension, we've now partnered with Kingston University. We've been teaching LSE's business management programs for coming up on 14, 15 years now. And so Kingston University has also been very happy to partner with us. The first intake for this batch will be 2020-21. This is also a business management program, but with a fundamentally different structure where you study in India but graduate in the UK. So you do your first 2 years of your 3-year undergrad in India, and then you graduate in the UK doing your last year, your 3rd year at Kingston University, London. And of course, this program, being a business program, is offered under the aegis of Kingston Business School, which is AACSP accredited, which is a very coveted B school accreditation enjoyed by only 5%, 1 in 20 B schools. It's a seamless move to KU in 3rd year. There's no IS needed at that stage. You move with a whole batch. A lot of parents are sometimes a bit worried, and especially in this kind of environment, about their students going to study abroad at the age of 18. Now you can go abroad at the age of 20 and go with a whole batch of classmates and friends, which can give a lot of added comfort to students and parents alike. And of course, KU guarantees accommodation for students coming into 3rd year, which helps with the transition. And you graduate, you're studying the Kingston University curriculum throughout. You graduate with the Kingston University degree and all the benefits from a work and visa and work and study benefits after graduating, as you would have had you done all 3 years in the UK. And the beauty is, so you're not losing out on any of the benefits, but you're saving on more than half the cost because you're spending 2 out of the 3 years in India. you're being able to launch a career in London, which is considered one of the world's top cities to live and work in, and you're being able to do that at less than half the cost. So that is another very interesting proposition. It's a very hands-on program, again derived entirely from the vision of providing a world-class education in India, giving Indian students the kind of education that will help them launch exciting careers, in different parts of the world, really global careers. And then, of course, I'm just going to zip through this bit just to emphasize. Of course, a workshop like this would already have perhaps sort of indicated that it's not all work and no play at iASPIRE, but just to make sure, lest students tell me that this was where was all the fun stuff. So there is a lot of emphasis. Clearly, you've seen the emphasis on guest lectures. We've had a stellar lineup of guest lectures in the last 10 months at iASPIRE for our own students as well. There's a talk coming up by Dr. Ajit Mishra on the 27th of July. He's one of India's leading economists. All of you will be invited to that. We'll make sure. So do attend that, anyone interested in economics. There are several industry visits, software training workshops. So at one point we were going to train you in a little bit of Excel, but then we just felt that 2 hours would be too little to train you in Excel. Otherwise, you would have got a glimpse of the kind of software training that you get as part of the upskilling for careers while you're at iASPIRE. There's Excel, Stata, R, Python. You get trained in any and all of that you choose to dabble in. That's still relatively serious stuff, some would say. But on the sort of pure fun student activities part, this is where you really come into your own from a personality perspective. So this is sort of for your all-round development, for you to develop leadership skills, management skills, organizational skills, interpersonal skills, communication skills. There's practically a society for everything, you name it: social work, sports, dance, music, investment, entrepreneurship. There's about 12, 13 societies. There are annual inter-college festivals. The festival is called Xenia, an annual inter-college Model United Nations. Again, much more detail available on the website and actually on social media. I believe some of our societies are doing unbelievable stuff right now. There's a series called Humans of iASPIRE going on. I would invite all of you to look at that on Instagram. It's wonderful to see, very heartwarming for us to see students make so much of such a difficult time. There's the dance team that is doing something called Deconstructing Roots. They did something called Talash earlier on. So you can follow them on social media and see what they're up to. These are some of the guest lectures, other college activities, etc. And all intended to, this is all in sync with that objective I spoke about earlier for equipping you with the skills that you need in order to succeed in the real world. Because the UK higher education is a means to an end. It is, as all education is, but I think the UK system takes this a little bit more seriously. So everything is tested at the threshold of, are we training you to solve real problems? And a lot of this training is implicit training in solving real problems. Anyway, I'm like I said, I'm just going to zip through that and bring my piece to a close here. Hopefully, I've been able to give you a bit of a glimpse into iASPIRE, where iASPIRE came from, but really what iASPIRE is all about. And on that note, I'll hand back to Sonia.
Thank you so much, Chirag, for an interesting presentation on iASPIRE. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to any of us. You have our email addresses, and we're happy to answer any of your questions on iASPIRE specifically. Now I would like to invite Dr. Tayal sir and to start with the distribution of the certificates. He will be distributing to the first 12 participants of iASPIRE. And I would just request, I have a small request, if you could please, after Dr. Tayal has read out your name and your certification, if you could just, if you have any, takeaways, any experience you would like to share about iASPIRE, any session that you particularly enjoyed, just any feedback you would like to share, that would be wonderful. So Dr. Tayal, can I please hand over to you?
Thank you, Sonia. Congratulations to all of you for having participated in this, and you will certainly deserve a certification for all your achievements. So I will start with certain names. The first name is Adi Gupta from Oberoi International School, Mumbai. who is being given a certificate with merit. Congratulations, Adi. Adi, can you narrate your experience?
Adi, you can do it through audio or video, whatever you would like.
Sonia, I'm not sure Adi is in the session just now. Siddharth,
Adi had actually written to us. He has a clashing math class.
Sure.
We have to send it.
Okay, so if you would move on with the next certification, please.
Next is Aman Kanchbhai, JBCN International School, Parel. Congratulations, Aman, for getting this certificate from the Indian School of Business and Finance. Congratulations. Please narrate your experience. Aman?
I think our students are a little shy today. Usually,
Aman just texted me. I'm sorry to butt in, but Aman just texted me. He is having some problem with the internet, so he won't be able to be with us at this moment.
So,
Okay, Aman Kamani, Indus International School, who has got a certificate with credit. Congratulations, Aman, for this achievement. Please narrate your experience.
It was a wonderful experience, and it was truly humbling, and it was very knowledgeable. I hope that I can do more workshops with you guys.
thank you so much, Aman. Thank you for your participation and congratulations.
Next is Dhanush Katam Reddy from Bangalore International School. Congratulations, Dhanush, because you have got a certificate with distinction. Please share your experience.
Dhanush is here. Dhanush?
Hello. Yeah,
Hi, Dhanush.
I just missed it. Exactly at that time, I had a internet fluctuation. So, okay, I always knew that economics, management, and finance were the subjects that interested me. And however, I didn't, in terms of career, I didn't know where to go. And in terms of that, the workshop really helped me, and it was very informative for me. So, thank you, everyone, iASPIRE team.
Thank you, Dhanush. And congratulations on your big achievement. You got a distinction. Well done.
Harshadip Singh Saraiya, Mayo College, Ajmer. Congratulations, you have been given a certificate of participation from the Indian School of Business and Finance for all the participation that you have done. Please share your experience, Harsh.
Harsh is not with us at this moment.
Yes, Siddharth is correct. He's not with us. So can we move on to the next student?
Ishwari S, Yuva Bharati Public School, Coimbatore. Congratulations, Ishwari. You have got a certificate of merit from the
Thank you,
Indian
sir.
School.
Thank you. this session was really informative. Rather than getting to know in the careers, I got to know the skills that will be needed for a better path later on. I thank all the staffs and the guest speakers for giving me this opportunity, and I would like to participate in even more workshops like this. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Good. Please keep up your enthusiasm.
So if you just allow me to butt in for a second, guys, I would really request all of you to switch on your video when you're speaking. We'd like to see you one last time for the time being. And also the director, Dr. Chadda, and the dean, Dr. Tayal, may not have had the opportunity to see you before me, sort of get a feel for who's been with us. So it would be lovely if you could turn on your video if you're comfortable with that when you're speaking. Thanks.
Mahi Mulani, Bangalore International School. Congratulations, Mahi, you have got a certificate of participation from the Indian School of Business and Finance. Please narrate your experience.
So Mahi is not here today. So you can probably move on to the next person.
Okay. Muhammad Saad, Legacy School, Bangalore. Congratulations, Muhammad Saad. You have got a certificate of credit and you deserve it. You have participated with all kind of credit that you deserve. Please narrate your experience.
First of all, I would like to thank iASPIRE for giving me the opportunity. And this workshop really helped me lay out my paths and helped me explore the world of EMF. And yeah, yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, good luck, Muhammad. Parth Golian. Parth Golian is from Mayo College, Ajmer. Congratulations, Parth, for having got a certificate from the Indian School of Business and Finance, for having joined and participated in this particular summer school. Please share your experience.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. The workshop was amazing. I thank all the organizers and the speakers to provide with such wonderful information. Thanks a lot, sir. And I'm looking forward with more programs like this. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Good. Next is Pavit Maheshwari from Mayo College, Ajmer. Pavit, hearty congratulations to you. You deserve a distinction and you have got a distinction. Please share your experience.
Thank you very much, sir. So firstly, I think that this workshop illuminated us on the various facets of EM&F. All right, there was some in-depth interconnections that I think none of us as students could ever have understood. So I think that from purely an academic point of view, the workshop was extremely insightful. Secondly, I think we have to give a lot of credit to the professors who moderated all our talks. I think, you know, in an online workshop, there's this initial ice that you can't break between students. So I think Professor Navni and everyone who moderated did an amazing job at being, you know, conversing with us very frankly. So for that, I think that the workshop was very nice. And I think it was very well balanced as well, because after each we had activities like, you know, the iASPIRE bingo. And after all of the sessions, it would just be us discussing Netflix shows. So I think it was a lot of fun as well. So I think it was a really holistic experience and I enjoyed it very much.
Good. I appreciate your keen involvement in all the kind of activities.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations. Next is Pratham Gada from Mithibai College. Pratham, congratulations a lot for getting a certificate of merit from the Indian School of Business and Finance for your participation. We would like to know your views about the particular activities that you have participated in.
Hi, sir. Thank you so much for the certificate, first of all. And secondly, I would just like to say the workshop was wonderful. It was an experience that I couldn't be more appreciative enough for. It really helped me to introspect my views on the industry perspective, from the industry's perspective, from academics, and from other various perspectives as well. It actually opened my eyes. So I thank iASPIRE and all the faculty members and the staff who organized and actually coordinated with the speakers so they can come and share their opinions on it. Thank you so much again.
We are glad that you have appreciated what we are doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tayal, for distributing the first set of certificates. Thank you so much. I would now like to formally invite Dr. Jitin Chadha to present the next set of certificates.
Well, a very good evening to all the participants of the iASPIRE workshop program, as well as to the faculty and staff. It's a privilege to give us some of the certificates of today's programs, and a hearty congratulations to all the participants. Right. This is to Sahala Samir from Legacy School, Bangalore, with a merit certificate. Congratulations, Sahala. We would love to hear your views on the program.
Thank you so much. First of all, it's been a very informative and knowledgeable experience. And I really got to know more about the career opportunities available using EMF. So it's been a very fun experience. Got to meet new people, and I look forward to attending more sessions like these.
Glad to know you liked it. Samranjay Singh, Mayo College, Ajmer, with a distinction. Congratulations, Samranjay.
Thank you so much. Hello.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're clearly audible.
Yeah, these 4 days have been amazing. So it was a lots of learning with lots of fun and interactive sessions. One second, yeah. And iASPIRE is a great platform for the students, and I'm so thankful for the iASPF team for hosting it. Thank you so much.
Well, you got a distinction, so you really made the most of it. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
This one goes to Sarosh Kotwal from JBC and International School, Parel, as a certificate of participation. Congratulations, Sarosh. Are you here on this session? We would love to hear views.
Sarosh isn't around, so we can move on.
I don't think she's, yeah.
Shan Arora, Step-by-Step School, Noida, with a credit certificate. Congratulations, Shan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I really enjoyed these 4 days, and it was a very thorough experience. I have much more knowledge on E, M, and F, so I'm very like earlier I wasn't that clear with what I wanted to do, but now I have some sense of clarity. So thank you for this amazing.
Well, thanks, Sean. Shrish Gupta, Mayo College Ajmer, with a merit certificate. Shrish, if you are there, we would love to hear your views on the program.
He is here, Jitin. Shrish?
Thanks a lot. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah,
Yes,
you're
yes.
audible.
Yeah. So yeah, I enjoyed the program a lot, and I've learned a lot of things in the program. And I'd like to congratulate all the professors for giving such wonderful presentations and teaching us things uh, that we wish we should know. And I especially congratulate Ma'am Navni Kothari because I love this session the best. So yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Glad to know you enjoyed the program. Shreyas Jain, again Mayo College Ajmer, with a credit. Congratulations, Shreya. If you're online, it'd be good to hear some feedback from the program.
She is here.
Yes, ma'am.
He is here, yeah.
So the journey has been really good for me. The sessions were very informative, and I really did gain a lot of information about the field I'm interested in. So thank you, iASPIRE, for this wonderful session, wonderful program. I would love to get back to you later in future, and thank you.
Thanks, Shreyas. Simran Robinson, Bangalore International School, with a distinction. Congratulations, Simran.
Thank you so much for that. So I don't know what to say because these 16 hours I feel has taught everyone a lot really, and I know that business is something I really want to get into, even though I wasn't too keen on eco and finance, but I'm happy that I did this because I did learn a lot and it clearly paid off. So thank you to the whole team as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Simran. Uday Sapra, Delhi Public School, Noida, with a merit.
Hi, sir. Thank you. This is a really great workshop. I had certain doubts and I was seeking clarity before I joined this, and this certainly provided a lot of clarity. The last two sessions on Ontro and data science were my favorite, and I've written about that in the essay too. But yeah, really insightful. Not only did it clear existing doubts I had, but it has I have a newfound impulse to pursue certain career paths later in life that I didn't know existed or that I didn't know I had the zeal for. So it was a really great experience. Thank you. Thank you to you and the iASPIRE team.
Oh, thanks, Uday, for the feedback. Vasu Goyal, Pathways World School, Aravali, Gurgaon, with a distinction. Congratulations, Vasu.
Hi, sir. Thank you. I can't say anything bad. I don't remember anything that I did not like about this workshop. But rather interesting fact that I never knew economics could be such a impactful discipline to study. I always thought it was quite irritating, but like the respect for the discipline really touched a lot of heights. And as a fellow student also said that the teachers, the faculty, they really did a good job in mixing up all the students, breaking the ice, and conducting sessions perfectly. Um, and the career thing and the career experts that we got to talk to, we wouldn't have got such an amazing opportunity um, sitting at our home and in this environment anytime soon. And this was bang on time for us to even experience this, because we now will make our choices about the future. So it will be important. It was very important. Thank you.
Thanks, Vasu, for your feedback. Glad to know we could change your perspective on economics for the better. Yadunanda Gupta, Mayo College, Ajmer, with a merit.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Thank you everyone for making this workshop a wonderful experience. Like it was amazing, and I learned a lot of things which I didn't know earlier. The sessions and the upskilling sessions and the guest speaker sessions were really informative, and they really helped me out throughout this place. Thank you everyone. Thank you the iASPIRE and iASPF team.
Thanks for your feedback. Well, the final one goes to Yusuf Sivani, Bangalore International School, with a merit. Congratulations, Yusuf.
Thank you, sir. Well, I mean, basically, everyone has covered everything. But one personal thing that I took out of it was that although like my journal wasn't great and I wasn't able to do much on my journal, I did realize one thing, and I did mention in my final answer, which was that whenever someone asked me what I wanted to do, I would always say finance. But through this whole course, I understood that finance isn't just something that you say you're going to do, but in fact, there's so many other fields within it that you can explore. And, if anyone in the future ever asks me what I'm going to do, instead of just saying finance, I can actually be confident and tell them, yeah, I'm going to try to be a financial analyst. So this course has really helped me figure out my life. So yeah, thank you to everyone. This course has been really helpful.
Thanks, Yusuf, for your feedback.
Thank you so much, Jitin, for the final distribution of certificates. On behalf of the entire iASPIRE team at iASPIRE, thank you all so much for your heartwarming and encouraging feedback. It makes every minute that we have worked on it worthwhile. So thank you. You know, as higher educators, we are thankful not only to our students for being enthusiastic participants, and nobody could say that you are not, but also to the schools that we work with, the counselors, and your parents who have encouraged you to join and value our workshop. And with that, a very big thank you and the best of luck to all of you in your future endeavors. And please, please do stay in touch with us. I would love, and I know my colleagues would love to know how your career journey is progressing. Congratulations to all of you. I will now formally end the session, and students, you can leave the meeting. Go have fun.